Hi, welcome to the OT meeting room. I am Deborah Battistella, occupational therapist and owner of Creative Concepts in Occupational Therapy. I'm coming to you today to talk about the value of occupational therapy. You know, if you've listened to me for any length of time, that's like my mantra, the value of occupational therapy. Today, I want to talk about the value of occupational therapy and emerging practice, role emergent practice, those terms that we're hearing more and more of. And what is it? What does it look like? And that is what we're going to talk about. So I have my notes here because it's easier for me to keep my thoughts together if I have notes. And I want to keep this brief for you because I know that we don't have a lot of time for listening. The topic of today is role emergent occupational therapy or non-traditional OT. I'm going to cover what it is, why we need to do it, who can do it, and how do we do this. This is an overview only, and every time I prepare a talk, there is so much depth and areas of focus. If I took each one of these and dissected them, there's a lot of depth that I could go into. For today, I will just give you a brief overview, and moving forward, I can talk more in detail about each of these topics. Before I even get into these, I'm going to tell you why I'm qualified to talk about this. If you have never listened to me before, you know that you don't know anything about me. So I am an occupational therapist. I have been an OT practitioner for 19 years. I have worked in physical medicine for my entire career until I added academia to that. For 5 years now, I've been a full-time faculty member in an OTA program and fieldwork coordinator. Over the course of my career as fieldwork coordinator, we have formed partnerships with people and community members to provide occupational therapy services in a different way from the traditional way that services are often provided here in the United States in terms of rehabilitative practice in hospitals and rehab settings, or more habilitative practices in school-based and pediatric settings. Recently, I have been an OT supervisor in a role emerging fieldwork situation for a college, and there's just so much opportunity, and I'm so excited about this. And this is something that I've been passionate about for a while now, and I've kind of been all over the place trying to discover what it is that I really want to be doing for myself in terms of occupational therapy practice, where I want my career to go. I've investigated energy medicine, and I see the value in it. And I love listening to people who have started practices through an OT lens that it's non-traditional. It's maybe not direct OT care, but their OT skills come into play. And so that's what I'm going to share with you today. So let me just get started. So let's talk a little bit about non-traditional OT or role emergent OT. I was recently talking with a colleague who has been resistive to starting, even looking at how can we do occupational therapy field work, or how can we provide field work in a different way. So this person said to me, it's not real OT. And this is before we even spoke about what does non-traditional OT or role emergent OT look like. And I understood, strangely enough, I understood what she was saying. When you've provided OT in a certain way, and this seems to be people who work in the physical medicine space, we get so ingrained in how we're providing our services to this population, like rehab. For me, it's easy to understand, and for so many, I think it's easy to understand that when you take off the rehabilitative lens, it's hard to understand how what we're doing is occupational therapy. So we have to make a little bit of a shift in how we're understanding OT. So if we think about OT services being that broad statement that we say to people, we can help you do the things that you want and need to do so that you can want and need to, or so that you can do them. Oh boy. So habilitation is very different from rehabilitation. Habilitating is helping somebody do something that they've never done. So you can show people OT tips and tricks that they've never seen before, and that is habilitative. So there's no rehab, there's no getting somebody back to an independent level. We can provide OT services at the agency level. So taking a look at agency services that they provide and using our OT skills and knowledge. Activity analysis is huge. Like, that is a massive skill that we have, and sometimes I don't even think we know how valuable that skill is to other people, because it's something that lives in us, and we do our OT using that without even thinking about it. So role emergent OT, some examples include partnering with agencies that serve intellectual and developmental disabilities and helping people be more independent, prepare for independent living, money management. Think about those types of skills that we can help people do. We can partner with agencies that serve the older adult population and help them understand the needs of older adults, help them integrate things that they're likely already doing with more of an OT focus, so giving them OT tips and tricks. Those are two examples that come to mind right away. Looking around you and just thinking, oh, there's a community around here. What does this community need? And that's another topic, but that's a good way to start thinking about it. So why should we start having this conversation? Why do we need to start thinking about providing OT services in a role emerging or a non-traditional way? Well, we're in the middle of a pandemic. So we're in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. And if you're an OT or an OTA student, if you're OT or OTA faculty, you know that fieldwork has basically gone away, and getting sites to be finding sites, locating sites to take our students is incredibly challenging right now. If you are an OT practitioner, you might have experienced job furlough, job loss. So jobs are being eliminated and put on hold right now. And if you're looking for an OT or an OTA job, it's very challenging right now to find employment. So when these things happen, it's important for us to start looking for opportunities. And sometimes we are the ones making the opportunities. And if you have a creative bone in you at all, or if you have an idea for OT service provision in you at all, this is your time. This is a very good time to just start finding people, finding your community, and connecting with people to see how we can make this happen. So who will benefit? So that's kind of why we need to do it, and it also infuses who will benefit as well. But I want to also remind us that people need OT services right now. Not everyone is in a hospital, not everyone is in a rehab facility, and children are not attending school, and all of the ways that this pandemic is affecting people, people need us. And so there's always that vein of conversation that OT is going to die, OT is not valued, and so thinking about how we're talking about occupational therapy and saying, hey, you know, OT is being seen in the news right now. This is our opportunity to start talking to people, and it involves us getting out of our comfort zone and becoming more articulate in being able to explain what occupational therapy is and being more clear with ourselves on how we can help other people during this time. So looking at this from an academic fieldwork perspective, and then also looking at this from the OTA career perspective, there are opportunities. For fieldwork coordinators, it's a great time to partner with new agencies, new community partners, or looking at your current partnerships in a different way and determining how you can provide OT services differently from how you've been doing it in order to be able to have fieldwork opportunity experiences for your students. I almost said children. I'm a mom, and as a mom, a parent, and being in academia, I feel like our students, I love them the same way that I love my children, and I want them to be able to graduate. I want them to have a full and rich experience. I just think that's so funny that I just thought of it like that. But that's the truth. And if you're in academia, likely you know that and have had those feelings before. So in order to do that, we have to have an OT supervisor. We have to have agencies who are willing to work with us. And I can tell you through the experience that I am having right now on our college campus with our community partners, and through the experience that I had being an OT supervisor, agencies, community partners, they are willing to partner with us. They love our ideas that we have. They understand that there's a little time commitment on their end. And while some people have expressed they were concerned about that at the beginning of the experience, everyone who has completed the experience has said to me that this was, it far exceeded their expectations, because OT and OTA students show up professionally, and they're very autonomous and independent, and with the right kind of guidance, they can do the work. So that's the field work and college side of the coin. We also need somebody to be that OT supervisor. So there are opportunities for people who normally serve as fieldwork educators who may not be working right now to partner with the college to be that OT supervisor. And it's an incredible experience to be the OT supervisor from this new creative perspective. And you will need somebody who is able to be flexible and be an out-of-the-box thinker, but also be able to take the skills that they have and infuse that and incorporate it into the experience. So this is a little bit of an overview. I hope that it makes sense to you. So I'm going to recap again. So I spoke about what role emerging or non-traditional fieldwork is, and it's providing OT services differently. It's not necessarily rehabilitative. It can be at the group or agency level. And during this time right now of COVID, most services can be provided virtually, and that it provides opportunity where opportunity may not exist. Why we need to do it? Because people are not receiving the OT services that they could be receiving, that they may need. Fieldworks don't have sites to send students to. People in the OT community working as OT practitioners, providing OT services, are being laid off, they're being furloughed, and people who are looking for jobs are having a challenging time finding a job. So we can be creating opportunities. Today, I spoke mainly about looking at role emerging OT through a fieldwork lens and partnering with different community partners to provide OT services. Also providing opportunities for OT practitioners to be the OT supervisor, and using community partnerships that you already have or forming new partnerships. The next video I make, I want to expand on this a little bit more to say all of these concepts that we're looking at through the fieldwork lens can also be looked at through the entrepreneurial lens. So something to look forward to. If you would like to connect with me, I'm including my email in the information with this video. You can reach me at deborahbatistellaot@gmail.com. I'm very interested in having conversations with people who want to know more, hearing your ideas, sharing my ideas with you, and taking occupational therapy to another level, because now really is our time. Thank you for watching. Make it a great day.